Hello everyone. Bennett is trying to dig into my pillows behind me, I guess. Hey, we're live. Everyone say hi to Bennett. Welcome to the vlog, welcome in. Get yourself comfortable because we're sitting here the whole time and just doing a little chat with me. The past few months I have done chat with me videos, and I've done this format the past few times where we just kind of hang out and we're chatting about life, and maybe I put a Q&A on my story, which I did. I want to make these like let's talk chat with me videos a monthly thing, so that's what we're gonna do. I've done two the past 2 months and I didn't really mean for them to be repeating, they just kind of seemed relevant in the moment, and then I decided we're making a series. I think I'm gonna call it like let's talk. So we're making it a series where I'm gonna crochet and just kind of chat with you, whether that be in my room, in the park, wherever. So today we're in my room. I introduced this idea on my Instagram story a few days ago, and I had everybody vote on a poll. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably remember that. I said, what should the theme be for the chat with me? And I gave YouTube advice, New York City, general life lately, and productivity and healthy habits. General life lately won, which honestly I was not expecting because I feel like the last video I did like this about a month ago was general life lately, but you know, we can always do more. Give me a topic, I can probably talk about it. So from there, I asked what we should talk about, and a ton of you gave ideas and opinions on my Instagram story. So we're gonna kind of go through these and chat about them a little bit. Bennett's giving himself a bath right here. We're just gonna let him do that. If you're new here, my name's Alexis. I'm 27, I live in New York City. Currently in my apartment. This is my room. See, the thing is, I'm getting like some heavy side light right now, but I like this backdrop instead of just like the straight on backdrop. So we're gonna deal with a little bit of shadowing. It's creating drama. So what I'm crocheting today is a tote bag. If you watched my Antigua vlog, I went on vacation about a month ago to Antigua and I started this crocheting project. So I'm making a tote bag, and I'm trying to remember what row I'm on because I haven't picked this up in about a month, because I'm using this kind of as my project to do when I'm out and about and I want to bring something that's really easy to bring with me, or if I want to work on something simpler for a video like this while we're just chatting. Because if I were to work on a complex project with multiple elements and yarns going on, I would not be able to talk at the same time. Also, if you are a crochet person, we'll talk about this a little more and then I'll be done with the crochet talk for now. This bag is almost completely made up of a cross double crochet stitch, which is what I'm doing right here. And that's a new stitch that I learned for this. So it's very simple though. All you do is skip a stitch, do a double crochet, and then you go back into the one you skipped, and it crosses to make like a nice little pattern. I can link this below. I bought the pattern on Etsy. I did mess it up though because apparently I was supposed to be working with 2 strings at once, and I am only working with 1. So it's gonna be a bit of a thinner bag, but we're just kind of doing this to test it out, see if I like making a bag. And if you don't crochet, that probably made absolutely no sense. So I'll try to keep my crochet talk to a minimum. So essentially no questions are really off limit because it was just like a general chat with me. So I'm gonna start from the bottom and just kind of scroll through ones that stand out to me. The very first one that was asked was, what is my skincare during NYC summer? So my skincare routine I finally have perfected like a month or 2 ago. If you remember, this time last year, I was going through some serious skin issues. I was getting this crazy rash that would show up around my eyes, it would show up on my cheeks, it would show up around my chin. And to be honest, to this day, I still have no idea what causes it. I have a few guesses, but nothing is confirmed. And it's crazy because the amount of tests I went through, I did a chemical patch test, nothing came back. I did an autoimmune blood panel, which was the most blood I've ever had to get taken in my life. It was like 7 or 8 vials of blood. I was totally normal, except for I do possess the gene to rheumatoid arthritis. But I didn't possess something else that meant I necessarily had it right now. Why am I talking about this? Oh, skincare. So anyways, I got so many tests, couldn't really figure it out. I think foaming cleansers irritate my skin, so I cut those out. And I needed to simplify my skincare routine. So from probably last September to March, this March, I only had plain CeraVe lotion that I put on my face. I didn't put on sunscreen, I didn't put on anything else, like just the plain CeraVe. And it couldn't even be the daytime or nighttime ones, those still irritated my face, just the plain CeraVe lotion. So I did that, but then finally, like April, it started getting hot out again, and I was like, I need to start wearing sunscreen again, because you should be wearing that every day. but sunscreens were kind of irritating my face. I finally found Elta MD that works for me. I don't get a bad reaction from it, and I have been wearing that since April, and it's been working pretty well for me. It's expensive, but it's high quality, and it's worth it because I've had so many skin issues. So I found Elta MD. I love wearing that, so that is a summer essential for me. And then recently, in the past few months, I've been able to add Paula's Choice skincare into my routine. So I use their collagen multi-peptide booster, and I use their vitamin C serum. And then there is a mandelic acid exfoliator that I use sometimes. All of those work well on me. I haven't had any bad reactions. So Paula's Choice is my new favorite skincare brand. And then I also have been able to use the self-tanning drops from Isle of Paradise. So that's my summer skincare. The vitamin C and the sunscreen have been working great. I have felt my skin improve. It feels brighter and clearer. And knock on wood, I have only had a rash flare up a few times in the past few months, and I've been able to stop it with like hydrocortisone. So maybe one day we'll figure out why I have this rash, but I was just spending so much money going to so many different doctors, to 3 different dermatologists. I went to an allergist, an immunologist, my normal doctor, literally just so many places. I had to take a break from it because I could not bear to keep doing that. I will link all of those products in my description if you're interested in any of them. I think they're also all on my link tree in my bio of my Instagram. Someone asked if I'm working on new audition material. Always. If you're new here, I'm a full-time YouTuber, but I also am pursuing performing. I majored in musical theater in college and am actively auditioning and taking dance classes, and I'm in rehearsals for a project right now. Definitely working on my audition material. I'm always trying to find new things. I think I just posted this vlog. It was a day in my life where I took like an acting through song class, and I was kind of freaking out because I didn't know what to sing, because I just hate all of my audition material right now. I don't love the songs that I have in my book, which is like the material you bring into an audition. I feel like I chose a lot of it when I was in college, and now that I am further out of college than I feel like I am, a lot of the material doesn't necessarily work for me anymore. There were a lot of things that I graduated with when I was 21 that were parts for like 18, 19-year-old. Now I feel like I need to start looking older because I'm now in my late 20s. So I definitely am looking for new audition material and just trying to figure out where I fit in right now in the theater and dance world. And someone else asked what's my favorite audition song right now. And to that I say I don't know. I actually really struggle finding like contemporary musical theater things that I like to sing in auditions. If it's a musical theater song, I'm usually gonna sing Golden Age. I'm gonna sing Always True to You in My Fashion from Kiss Me Kate. I'm going to sing If You Hadn't But You Did from Two on the Aisle. Old Golden Age stuff, because I really do love a Golden Age song. But as far as contemporary stuff, that's where I'm struggling. I kind of need to find new things to sing. And a lot of theaters these days want pop rock songs. They don't even want a musical theater song. And for that, I typically will sing, my go-to for a while was You're So Vain by Carly Simon. And then sometimes I'll sing a Paramore song. I'll sing Ain't It Fun. But I kind of want to sing more music that like I listen to and I like. Like I would love to audition with a song from Lawrence because they're my favorite band. But I need to like figure out the logistics and the accompaniment for that. That didn't really answer your question. I guess I gave some songs, but I'm kind of going through a crisis with what I sing right now. How often do you see your family? By the time you're watching this, I will be on a vacation with them right now, actually. I usually see my family like 3 to 4 times a year. I'll see them at Christmas. I'll typically see them at Thanksgiving. They'll usually come to New York at least once. Last year they didn't, but they came to New York earlier this year in February. And then they're gonna come see me again in November. So I'll probably have ended up seeing them like 4 or 5 times by the year is over. So I do see them a good chunk. I'm also going to a wedding in September in Ohio, so I'll probably see my parents. I'm actually gonna see them a good amount this year. Last year I did not see them much. I saw them maybe 3 times, maybe twice. I feel lucky that even though my family's in a different state, they're only in Ohio. Like it's not terrible to get there. The flight is like barely an hour and a half. To drive, it's only like 8 or 9 hours. So I do feel lucky that they're closer than they could be. This one is, what are some ways that you find solace when you're struggling? That's a good one. I feel like for everyone it's different how you find solace when you're struggling, or like comfort or feel better. For me, I think it's taking time to do things that I like that are relaxing. Like taking time to just sit and crochet or watch my favorite show, watch like a comedy, go on walks, like just for fun. I think it's really easy to get wrapped up in things and kind of be moving at a fast pace all the time. So I feel like when I'm struggling or feeling stressed, I just have to take a step back and do things that I enjoy just for the sake of doing them. Like I was feeling a little overwhelmed this week And then I took like 2 hours just to hang out with my roommate Emily. We played a game. We played Stardew Valley, which I'm not really a gamer girl, but Emily has gotten me into Stardew and I'm kind of addicted to it. But just taking those 2 hours was nice because it was like a break from working on a ton of things that I had going on this week. So I would say just taking that time for myself. But I know everyone's so different when it comes to, you know, avoiding stress. It's like every time I go to film a video, there's a car alarm that goes off. Let's cross our fingers that this is only going to go off for a few minutes. Okay, it stopped. That only went off for like a minute. In my first apartment in Washington Heights, car alarms would go off all the time, but I remember this one night, a car alarm went off for 6 or 7 hours. Like, it was crazy. So every single time a car alarm goes off, I'm scared that that's gonna happen again. Someone asked, are you planning another offline event? So context, if you don't know what that is, me and my friend Chelsea, who's also a YouTuber, we hosted an in-person event in June, the last week of June. And we did like a live Q&A and met a ton of you guys, and it was really great. I had a great time. Honestly, I was very, very nervous leading up to it, and I was like, I'm gonna do this once and I never want to do it again because I was feeling so much anxiety about it. But once we actually showed up to the event and realized everybody was so awesome, I feel totally differently about it now. I would love to do another event, but I think if I were to do another event, I like the style of it where there's like an organized like kind of run of how the night's gonna go, but I think I want to do it more community based. So whether it's an editing or filming workshop and we all come and we share different tricks for like posting and filming YouTube videos, or if it's something like we clean up a neighborhood, or around Christmas do some sort of fundraising or something like that for a charity, something like that. I don't know. I feel like the next one I would definitely want it to be a little more community centered. So I think that would be a good thing, like something that's mutually beneficial for everybody, whether it's learning something new or helping the community, something like that. I think that would be good. But there's nothing set in stone right now. I don't even know, this could happen in a full year, but that is what I'm thinking. Any travel plans for the rest of the year? I am going on vacation with my family as we're speaking right now. Like, I am on vacation, but there's a hurricane that's supposed to hit Florida, and we were going to Florida, like Sarasota area, to visit my grandpa and stay at like a hotel there. But as of right now, I'm supposed to leave in 2 days, and I don't know if I'm actually going. So I guess by the time you guys are watching this, we'll know where I am, but I don't know if I'm going to go to Florida. My parents were talking about maybe trying to see if we can change our flights to go somewhere else. That was supposed to be my family vacation, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Like I said, I'm going to Ohio for a wedding later this year. That's kind of it. I'll probably go to Ohio for like Thanksgiving. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't have any crazy travel plans. I may go to Rhode Island with my friend Maggie. Her family has a house there. But I have a lot of rehearsals going on, so it's hard to take the time to leave. So we'll see where I end up this year, but I definitely am headed to a few places. Have you been watching the Olympics? Yes, I have. I think by the time you're watching this video, the Olympics are ending, almost done, August 11th. And I'm posting this video on the 9th, so there'll be 2 more days. I have been watching the Olympics. Honestly, I've been watching all of the gymnastics. I'm very invested in the women's gymnastics, especially. And so that's kind of where I know what's going on with the other teams. I like watching Brazil and Italy. Obviously I want USA to win everything, but the girls from Brazil and Italy, they are coming to play this year. So I have been watching that. I've been very invested. I've been watching it live. I have never been a giant Olympics fan, but I love a competition. So I'll tune in here and there. But gymnastics, I'm watching all of it. I've watched all of it live. I also have been coming to terms with the fact that like I'll never be an Olympian. Not that that was something I ever wanted to do, because I've never had an inclination to any sport. Like literally couldn't even name one that I maybe even came close. I'm not a sporty girl. But I think it's like one of those things that's been hitting me recently, like as you get older. Because I feel like as a kid, like you can be like, oh, maybe one day I'll grow up and randomly be an Olympian. I don't know, or like randomly do something. And as you get older, you like start to pass an age where you could actually do those things. And not that I ever was going to, but now I actually can. Which is like a stupid thought to have, but I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like my brain mourns the loss of things that were never even going to happen. What did you use to learn to crochet? I started to learn how to crochet the wrong way. I feel like there's a lot of different ways you can learn how to crochet, but I just kind of jumped into it. My friend Emily got me to start crocheting. She started taking it up and was like, you should do it with me. So she kind of got me started. So the first thing I ever made was a coaster. And I remember I was feeling very lost. The first pattern that I ever tried to do was using 2 strings at once, which was very confusing. Would not recommend. I would recommend to start by trying a wooble. I literally have a wooble. It used to be sitting over there, but I don't think it is anymore. I don't know where it is. I've never done it. It's a cat. And Emily started crocheting by doing woobles, and she said that that's the best way to learn because they walk you through it step by step and you actually like make something. So I would recommend starting with a wooble to get the basics and the technique, and you can get your first hook through woobles. I'm actually using a woobles hook, but I've never actually done one. I need to do my cat. Maybe our next chat with me, I'll do my woobles. That's what I would recommend. Like, I just jumped into it with the hardest project ever. I'm doing this million-year-long blanket that I've talked about. That's taking me months and months and months to do. But I would recommend starting with a wooble and like a basic pattern. There are so many YouTube tutorials. Like if you just Google easy pattern, so many free ones will come up with a YouTube tutorial. And then on Etsy, like I think this tote bag pattern was maybe $3. They're very cheap. But my best recommendation that I never did myself would be to do a wooble. Someone said, I've noticed you haven't been doing dance classes. Is this because you're rehearsing? So I'm currently rehearsing for something right now, which I actually need to go to that rehearsal in like 10 minutes. I actually have been taking dance classes the past few weeks. I've been taking ballet and theater jazz and contemporary. I've been doing a good amount of those. But I did kind of take a break from taking a ton of dance classes for a month or two. Sometimes I just get not in the mood to do it instead of forcing myself to go because it's also money. It's typically around $25 per class. I don't push it if I don't feel like going. I always make sure to go to the gym and do that every week, and like I won't let myself skip out of that. But if I'm really not feeling like going to a dance class, there are situations where I will push myself to go, but other ones where I'll let myself just not do it. And I think I needed to take a few months to kind of take a step back from it, and now I'm back in it again. And I feel like it's easy to burn out if you just force yourself to do things all the time, and it's also expensive if you don't want to do it. So I took a little step back, but I'm back in it, and I've been taking a lot of dance classes. I've been dancing a ton with my rehearsals. I guess yes and no. I wasn't doing that many, but now I have been. A ton of people are asking about finances and planning the future. It's kind of weird, actually. It's like different people asking that same thing together, like finances and future plans. There's like 3 of them. I'm hoping by September or October, maybe I'll do some kind of finances video, whether it's what I spend in a week or like a budgeting video. I kind of want to do that because I need to get better at financing and budgeting. We're not going to touch on any of that right now because I have nothing to speak on about that. Someone said managing health scares, like how do I deal with that? Honestly, I need to get better at dealing with it. I want to get back into therapy. I was in therapy for like a year and then stopped doing it because I didn't love the platform I was doing it through. So I actually really do need to find like a new therapist. I think that is a good way to deal with health scares. I have like a lot of health anxiety, OCD with like health anxiety tendencies, and I'll obsess over something. Like I'll notice one little thing wrong with me, I'll convince myself that it's something terrible, I'll be fixated on it, I'll be obsessing over it. And honestly, the best way to manage it is not Googling things. All I'd ever do is look stuff up on Reddit, on Google. I'm looking things up, and sometimes it can give you peace of mind, but 9 times out of 10 it usually doesn't. So I try to avoid looking things up. Honestly, the past few months until a few days ago, I have not been Googling anything, and I've been feeling great. I have a lot of anxiety that like I'll make my chest hurt and my arms hurt if I fixate on it too much. I think my best way is obviously tending to your body if it needs care and like seeing a doctor if something's wrong, but not fixating on these things. Like I have been to many doctors about issues. They've told me I'm fine if I do XYZ. I need to just do XYZ and believe it. I think it's really hard because people are always like, you know if your body's off, you know if something feels wrong. But as someone with health anxiety, it's really hard to actually know if something feels wrong because I'll convince myself like something feels wrong deep down, but I don't know if it actually does. So I've kind of been through the ringer this year between getting my lymph node biopsied, finding out I have a rare blood disorder, going through my rash. I have been going through it. So I've had a lot to stress about. And over the past few months, I've been working toward not fixating on these things and just letting them go. And I find a lot of times stress has a play into these things, and the less I'm stressed, the less I feel the weight. of the situation, if that makes sense. So don't Google it. If you get anything from this, don't Google it. Someone said top 3 international bucket list trips. So my first one, I've definitely talked about this before. I want to go to Iceland. I want to go to Iceland so badly. I've been wanting to go for years. It just seems so beautiful and nice there. So that's definitely on my list. So I'll put that as number 1. I want to go to Italy. I have been, but I only went to Italy once when I was 10. So I don't really remember it, and I couldn't really appreciate it. So I really want to go to Italy, but I also want to go to where my family is from. And I think I talked about this a vlog or 2 ago. I'm learning Italian right now. I took Italian in high school and knew it pretty well, but then I kind of lost a lot of it, so now I'm relearning it. And I guess third, honestly, there's a lot of places in Europe that I want to go that I've never been. Like, I would love to go to London or Ireland. I'm obviously very, like, European, like, heritage-wise. So I would love to just see all of these countries in Europe because I've never been to any of them except for Italy and Switzerland. Someone asked if I still go to Haswell Greens. If you've been watching since like 2021 on this channel, I used to go to Haswell Greens like it was nobody's business. I loved that place. If you don't know what it is, Haswell Greens is a like bar, restaurant on 54th Street, kind of in Hell's Kitchen. And they have like a band area where bands play, or they have open mic night and like a little dance floor area. And I went a lot like when things were just reopening after COVID, so it could be a lot different vibes there now than it was when I used to go. It's like they have like a balcony area that looks down onto the floor. It's a really, really cool space. We used to go there so often. We loved it there. And I don't think I've been there in like a year and a half. It's weird. I used to go there all the time, and then one day we just stopped going. I did hear a rumor that they stopped letting bands play and just wanted to make it a piano bar, but if you're the person who asked if I still go to Haswell Greens because your cousin's band plays there, is it a band with a ton of instruments or is it just pianos? Because I feel like they were trying to do a rebrand, and I think that's when we stopped going. But I do like it there. I just have not been there in a while. So that is a good chunk of questions. And I'm trying to film videos in advance before I go on this mystery vacation I'm about to go on with my family because I want to not miss any posts while I'm gone. Someone said, what's your happy place, the number 1 place you'd love to be? I hate to say it, but it's New York. I love being in New York. Everything just feels better in New York. I just love doing things in the city. I love being here. Like, this is my happy place. This is where I've always wanted to live. But if I'm not allowed to answer where I live, I guess I would say like somewhere on vacation where I don't have to do any work. I don't know. Doesn't really matter where. Just give me like a pina colada and tell me I don't have to do anything. That's my happy place. And on a like less like material, like physical level, my happy place is like anywhere just with all of my friends, like having a good time with my friends. I think we'll stop there with the questions. I know I feel like I don't really have that much to really super chat about because we just kind of did one of these that was about my general life. So I guess I'll ask again on my Instagram story, but next month when we do this, maybe I'll do an NYC chat with me and it'll be all things related to New York City, because that was like the runner-up on the poll. But if you have any suggestions of a theme that you want to see in one of these chat with me and crochet videos, comment them down below because I would love to hear like your opinions. But yeah, I think this is going to be a monthly thing. I'm trying to instill more series on my channel because I you know me, I love a series. I've always been telling everybody since the beginning of time, start a series on your channel. And I think it's fun to look forward to. It gives me a little more structure. And obviously I'm still going to be doing like vlogs and week in my life and day in my life and things like that. But I think having some series that are ongoing on my channel will be fun to have because I know that I feel comfort when my favorite creators are posting things that they typically post, and like I can expect these things. Either next week or the week after, I'm gonna launch my next 2 series, and I'm very excited for those. So stay tuned for that. I've been sitting here talking for like 45 minutes, but it feels like we haven't been talking for that long. I could go and do one of these videos for like a full hour. So if you want that, if you want an hour Q&A chat with me, I could pull that out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.